We're back.
Yes, and again, my camera has frozen in the weirdest possible position.
Yeah,
Okay,
you look
it's
so
back.
serious. Yeah, for the second week in a row, chat has chosen an excellent background for me. This is Minecraft Glastrier.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so we're going to get underway with our fourth set of the night between Say and Bush Sr. and Luna and Nia.
Thank you, one other person who voted for Census Scorch with me. I appreciate you.
No, it wasn't me.
No, poor Araquanid's not getting any votes. Oh, no, never mind. They just got one.
Yeah, Araquanid could be pretty good, I think.
Ooh, these are... Well, so we have like kind of a conventional team on one side with Saiyan. We've got the Rillaboom, Urshifu. My guess is oh wait, actually that could be Urshifu Water.
You could on that.
I may have seen this team on Showdown before, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, and we've got something totally unconventional on the other side. So I'm excited to see this from Luna and Nia with the Corsola and the Reuniclus. I can't even remember some of their names.
Yeah,
yeah.
Is that just a regular Corsola though? Like that's not the Galarian version. That's just a regular Corsola.
Yep, the rock type, water type Corsola. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Really interesting. Also, Gorgeist, Pincurchin, and Pyukumuku.
Yeah, Pincurchin and Pyukumuku, kind of the twins from Gen 7 and Gen 8. Haven't seen them used a whole lot. Of course, that Pincurchin is able to set up electric terrain, so.
Pyukumuku also gets Soak, and Pincurchin gets Rising Voltage, so potentially some Soak shenanigans there. Also, Chase has pointed out that Corsola gets Hustle, which is insane to me.
All right, well, let's see what's going to happen here. I'm very excited for this. I've been in kind of a place where I haven't really known what to do with awaiting the Series 8 rules, so this is going to be really fun. Oh, Shiny Gorgeist, very cool, along with the Reuniclus for Luna and Neela.
Ghost always have the best shinies. It's always really good. So if Saiyan has a really solid option of just going for like Bulldoze to trigger weakness policy on Metagross, and you can Steel Spike or Quake either one of these. I don't think it makes that much of a difference. It looks like Luna wants to get up a Trick Room, and I'm not entirely sure how possible that is.
Yeah, but that Gorgeist is probably going to be pretty physically bulky. If that Spectre decides to go for something like a Bulldoze, which will certainly not knock out that Gorgeist, that thing could survive and get off either a huge hit or perhaps set Trick Room itself.
Yeah, and also like the weird thing here is that there's two potential Trick Room setters, so like you don't really know which one's gonna go for it. It feels like a bit of a
This is how I felt during the whole IC. Like I was facing Luna and Neela's team. Like I was like, I made a huge mistake in thinking that the in-game ladder was going to be the same as the meta for the IC. And now I know that is not the case.
Yeah.
We see big Reuniclus.
Yeah, so that's not setting up Trick Room.
It is not, indeed. We do see the Bulldoze come out from the Spectre. Going to probably proc that Metagross's weakness policy and get it to +2 attack.
This is the IC in a nutshell. Yeah, we've got Saiyan with a standard
You're
team.
not
and
wrong,
Luna with... I don't know what's going on there entirely, but I'm really scared.
Yes, 100%. You see the Steel Spike into the Gorgeist. It is at +2, enough to take it out, or did it have a Focus Sash? I couldn't tell.
I think it just KO'd. I didn't see any focus. Yep. Yeah. Poor Sabbath just goes down. Is this enough to KO the Okay, it doesn't even go for the Metagross. It goes for the Specterior, which is what goes down to. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And Friendlies asking if you didn't use Vikavolt and just win every game.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it in Friendlies. I don't want to talk about my IC. It was just, I felt confused the whole time. I'll say that.
Day 2 is the real rough one. Okay, so now Corsola's on the field. And I don't know how to feel about that.
Yeah, I don't either. I have a feeling that it's threatened too by this Metagross. It's now at +2. It being a rock type. I think that it's probably going to be threatened by this Metagross while the Reuniclus, no Trick Room went up, so Spectre is going to be doing a big chunk of damage with that Shadow Ball.
Yeah. He's just doubling up into the Reuniclus. I think this is enough to KO. Yeah. It just goes down here, and
we're going to get to see what Corsola does.
What does it do? Does it swing the game back in Luna's favor?
Let's see.
This is going to be the biggest earthquake of all time. Oh, it is an earthquake.
Doesn't do a whole lot to that Metagross, but it is enough to pick up that Spectre that was left on the Focus Sash.
Yeah, I don't really see a way that Luna's gonna be able to get out of this. Corsola's Rock and Water, it's 4 times weak to Grass. Grassy Glide should just take it down pretty easily.
Yeah, I think so.
On the plus side, Luna does win the terrain war, so maybe like protecting the Corsola and getting off a really big Rising Voltage crit onto the Metagross can get you the game, but
yeah, the Rising Voltage isn't going to do a whole lot to this Rillaboom, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think the other thing is that, like, also on top of that, like, we saw how much damage Corsola did with the earthquake. It did nothing. Like, Saiyan doesn't even really have to like give it any attention this turn. It's 4 times weak to Grass. You can just Wood Hammer it the next turn.
Yep. And you of course don't want to earthquake your Pincurchin.
Yeah.
If you don't have Protect on it. But we do see the Max Quake come out from Metagross into the Corsola. Interesting. Probably trying to raise those special defenses on both of the Pokemon on Saiyan's side.
Choice Scarf Corsola, let's go. Yeah.
Well, the Pincurchin flinched for the fake out.
The fake out, yeah. And we saw that it was Air Balloon, not Specs or anything like that. So again, I bet this Wood Hammer still does a lot. And you can just Stomping Tantrum it. And I mean, Pincurchin's not going to 1v4, I'd say, in the best of scenarios, but definitely not when you don't have Trick Room.
Yeah, I believe we saw the Rose Incense on the Rillaboom too, which powers up those grass type moves. So even without the terrain, it's still doing a whole lot of damage, and it is enough to pick up the KO.
Yeah. So do you go for what in my heart feels like the riskiest move that you can go for, of just leading both your Trick Room setters and Trick Rooming with both of them, hoping that one goes down?
Yeah, I don't know. I think you might bring the heat more. That is going to pressure for sure the Rillaboom and the Metagross, which were both brought to the first game. And see, of course, we know that this Metagross does have access to a Quake move of some type. So that Heatmore might be a little bit more threatened by that. But I definitely think you want to bring the Fire type in this matchup.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to bring the Fire type. Like, obviously, like, they didn't really have anything to pressure the Metagross early on. But the thing is, I'm not entirely sure that Heatmore is able to pressure Metagross that much.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
If Luna has something like the Soak strategy with the Pyukumuku, I really think getting up Trick Room and like spamming Soak and Rising Voltage is kind of the best way.
For sure.
Or Dynamax Corsola, that could be it.
Yeah, it's just how do you keep one of your Pokemon safe from these strong attackers that Saiyan brought out in the leads in Game 1, the Spectre and the Metagross.
Yeah, I honestly think that your best bet, and it feels so risky, right? If you just go for Trick Room with both of your Pokemon, if they both have it.
You could reverse your own Trick Room.
You could reverse your own Trick Room, right? Like that's like the worst case scenario.
That's like an Amy move. That's what I would do, right?
Yeah. I've done that before. Like I've led 2 Trick Room setters, and I'm like, you can only KO one of these Trick Room setters. So I'm gonna pray that you attempt to KO one, and I'm gonna Trick Room with both.
Yeah, it's really, really risky going for when there's Trick Room setters on the field. It's really, really risky to go for that kind of speed control on turn 1, right? Unless, 2 Tailwind setters are a little bit different. But if you have Trick Room setters, it's really interesting to try to go for that speed control on turn 1. We see the same leads from Saiyan, and the Reuniclus and the Gorgeist has been switched out for the Heatmore.
Yeah, so like the issue is though, I think like you can just
you can max Spectre here, honestly.
Yeah, you can just KO the Reuniclus, and like I don't think the Heatmore does enough like to the Metagross to KO it.
I agree, and the Spectre does have access to Bulldoze, which of course turns into a Max Quake. Could raise the special defense on both of these mons also.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to see the Heatmore retreat, though, not wanting to get KO'd on turn 1. Maybe baiting that attack out.
Yeah, and Pyukumuku comes out, which is something that very defensively.
Oh, we still see the Metagross.
Is Reuniclus going to be able to get up the Trick Room is kind of like the biggest question here.
I don't know. I didn't see what Spectre decided to go for. Probably the taunt.
So if this thing doesn't have a mental herb or anything like that, no, they just fell for the taunt. So yeah, Trick Room isn't coming up this turn.
No, and we do see the Max Quake into the Pyukumuku. Not going to do a whole lot of damage, maybe a third or so. But importantly, is going to raise the special defense of both the Metagross and the Spectre.
Yeah, I do really. Is that an eject button? Oh,
red card.
Dynamax though.
Oh man, I love that item.
Just in general, I really like the adjustment though, leading the Heatmore to bait out the attacking into it. Unfortunately, Saiyan just had taunt, so like Trick Room was only really an option if you led both of them.
Yeah. And now with the Reuniclus taunted, the Spectre is free to go for the Bulldoze, set up the weakness policy on the Metagross, and this Metagross is going to start doing big, big damage.
Yeah, and you can target either one of them, and I don't think the other one is going to be able to pick up the KO.
Yeah, Logan, red card doesn't work on Dynamax Pokemon. It's really weird mechanic. Eject button works on Dynamax Pokemon, but red card doesn't. I don't know why it's different, but it just is.
Also, Eject Pack also works on Dynamax Pokemon.
Interesting.
Because, and this is kind of a range of how much I've grown as a player, I attempted to run Close Combat Eject Packed Arcanine, like when I first started playing VGC. It did not work because if you just switch an Intimidator, my Arcanine leaves the field.
Yeah, that Max Quake is going to be enough to go ahead and pick up the... did it go in a Pyukumuku? But it is going to... give the innards out ability, which is going to take a little bit of damage from that Metagross on its way out.
And this Helping Hand Max Phantasm, yeah, with the 2 special defense boosts, I think you needed the crit, even with the like solid chip from the what was it called? Pyukumuku's innards out. Now, okay, so Gorgeist comes back in, and I really think you can just kind of target the Gorgeist and you're fine.
It doesn't have a focus sash.
Mm-hmm.
There's no Trick Room that's been set up, so your Spectre is always going to be the fastest thing on the field.
Yeah, I mean, like honestly, you could even just taunt the Gorgeist and attack, because like the Reuniclus is already taunted, so it can't max guard or anything like that, so you can just freely target that slot. But I mean, like Saiyan has like a million options right now. Okay.
But then
there's always a way out.
There's always a way out. Shadow Ball gonna go in the Reuniclus, not gonna appreciate it a whole lot, but still probably takes less damage than if it went into the Gorgeist.
I don't think Reuniclus
but that
lives.
Steel Spike, yeah, it's just gonna go ahead and finish off the Reuniclus.
Yeah.
And, Gorgeist can't go for both Trick Room and Ally Switch in the same turn. That's kind of the thing with Ally Switch. If they click it, that's their move for the turn. So there's no, additional shenanigans happening. That's the move they made.
Yeah, and that's kind of the risk you always take when you hit Ally Switch, is that, White Tigers, in real life, you can always just Ally Switch your way out of any problems. Just try it at school, work, anything. But yeah, that's the risk of Ally Switch. Like, if your opponent, like, not even necessarily reads it, but just doubles up into...
Just doesn't care about it. Yeah.
Like, then you just have a turn where you get nothing off. And, like, I mean, potentially you can go for another Ally Switch this turn, but I think just, like Shadow Balling the Gorgeist and, like, Sucker Punch.
Oh, it's not quite enough after the Steel Spike boost.
Yeah.
The Shadow Ball go into the Gorgeist, and it is enough to take it down.
Yeah, and giving it a Chilling Nade boost, and you can just, I mean, like, the Heatmore just goes down here.
Yep. Ice Punch. Interesting. Well, the Heatmore doesn't go down here.
Yeah, the Heatmore has another chance, but I don't think.
But the problem is the Spectre is Sash. Heatmore can't take on the world. It can take maybe one Pokemon with it, and that being the Metagross. But even if the Metagross switches out, might be kind of BM. But
Yeah. Yeah. The Metagross does go down this time. But unless I'm very confused about Heatmore, there's no way it survives a +1 Shadow Ball. Maybe.
Not many things survive a +1 Shadow Ball from Spectre. I'll be honest.
So that's going to be the set.
That is. Congrats to Saiyan, and welcome to Luna and Neela. Thank you guys for coming out. We hope that this will be the first of many battles for you on Monday Night Friendlies.